Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's show. My name is Spencer Walsh. We thank you so much for joining us here today. We got a big one for you, as always, this Saturday at 6 p.m. It is an all-new edition of the Spencer Walsh Show, first ever episode, pilot episode, find out a new format. It'll be live. It's going to be so much fun. Please join us. Get pumped on your Saturday night with Spencer Walsh Radio Network. Stream us live at 6 p.m. and anywhere thereafter. We'll be talking. We'll be playing tunes. It's going to be a lot of fun, so please join us. The Spencer Walsh Show. Spreaker.com/TSWS live on the Spreaker Radio Podcast app and available on demand after. It'll be a lot of fun, so please join us for that. All right. I'll stop. All right, we got a good one for you today. So thank you so much for joining us here today. Ireland has changed quite dramatically since 1983, when 2/3 of the electorate approved a constitutional amendment that imposed a near total ban on abortion by recognizing the right to life of the unborn, which promotes equal protection under law to fetuses and pregnant women. Okay, yeah, so the contours of Ireland's gradual transformation into a more liberal country in the decades since can be traced to a result of a series of subsequent referendums that defied the teachings of the once dominant Catholic Church. Divorce was legalized narrowly in 1995 and same-sex marriage overwhelmingly in 2015. So, yeah, those two things passed by in 1995. Divorce was legalized up until 1995. Wow. That to me was actually pretty stunning. I mean, like, the referendums are normally, they're how Ireland gets more liberal. It's how they function here, and I think it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very important here. This is kind of what they do best. This is kind of their specialty here. Can't talk apparently, but yeah, I mean, Ireland was I can't believe was Ireland was same-sex marriage. Divorce was illegal until 1995. I mean, the amount of protective relationship, abusive relationships that must have happened were, I don't even want to think about it. But anyway, that seems a little sad, but probably true. So yeah, on Friday, Irish voters go to the polls once again, this time to cast ballots in a referendum on their government's proposal to repeal the abortion ban enshrined in the 8th Amendment to the Constitution 35 years ago. So, in some ways, the latest referendum looks like looks a lot like the one on equal marriage. Now, as the same thing as last time, Irish expats are flocking home to vote. Many noted the Ireland's abortion ban means that 12 to 10 women a day are forced to travel in the opposite direction, mainly to England, to terminate the pregnancies at great emotional and economic cost. So that's kind of what they do there. And they are saying pretty strongly that they would like to repeal the they like to repeal the 8th, and they're pretty proud to do it. They're coming home and they're taking pictures, they're smiling, they're having some thumbs up. They're pretty big fans. So yeah, now as then, the Yes campaign has been backed by Leo Varadkar, a former health minister, became the country's first openly gay leader last year. So here's, for example, a tweet from a random Irish dude that reads, "Just starting my journey home to vote from Sweden. All I can think of is 10 to 12 women who are nervously awaiting their bus, train, flight to get their appointment. For women in a crisis, today is a day like no other. Time for care and compassion, Ireland. Time for change." So they're getting pretty hyped. It's the yes side, the repeal the 8th side seems very energized, seems very well financed, very well backed, and it seems like they do have a very solid shot here. So here is the promotional video. We'll just play that for you in a brief second. Right here. Here we go. So this is Leo Varadkar, the guy we talked about just a minute ago, who's the country's first openly gay leader last year. Here he is with some dramatic music.
When the Eighth Amendment was put into our Constitution back in 1983, that's 35 years ago, people believed that it would prevent abortion. But of course it hasn't. It's just forced nearly 200,000 women to go overseas to end their pregnancies. We now have a lot of women, in fact 2 or 3 every day, who import abortion pills illegally over the internet and end their pregnancies in their own home. My views on abortion and on this difficult topic have changed over time, particularly during my time as Minister for Health. I became aware on occasion of some really tragic and really difficult cases. Some people are worried that if they vote yes, abortion will become too readily available in Ireland, that the new system will be too liberal. And I want to assure you that that's not the plan. In the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, it'll be the woman's decision as to whether she wants to go ahead with the pregnancy or not. And her doctor will be able to give her advice on alternative options or counselling. And there'll be a 72-hour waiting period before she proceeds. After 12 weeks, pregnancies can only be ended if there's a serious threat to the life or health of the mother, and only if 2 doctors who are on the specialist register say that's so. If you're still undecided, I'd ask you to put yourself in the shoes of a woman who's facing a crisis pregnancy. Perhaps she's been raped and she doesn't feel that she can go through with the pregnancy. Perhaps she's a child herself. So if you vote no, nothing can change, and things will persist as they are now, where women have to travel abroad to get the care that they need. On May 25th, I'm voting yes, because I want us to live in a kinder, more compassionate, warmer Ireland, one in which we don't...
Alright, so yeah, you kind of get the idea there. So he does make a pretty compelling case about the women who have to go over and travel to go overseas just for relatively basic care there, which is pretty cool, that they are coming together in an attempt to stop this. But yeah, there's a lot of positive things to this situation, and it does appear that it'll be pretty well regulated, which is also very nice. You do like to see that. So yeah. So there's always a vote no, vote yes. There's a lot of debate going on, and right now we're getting to the point where we are seeing this. It's coming to a head. It's all happening today, Friday, May 25th. There are Irish folks getting out there and voting for their decision to try to possibly repeal the 8th. So yeah, now we turn to Michigan, where business person Shri Thanadar, having put millions of dollars of his own money into his television ads, calling himself the most progressive candidate in the race for Michigan governor, is now leading the race for Democratic nomination for governor of the state. But the strength of Thanadar's ideological core has been called into question. Although he has branded himself a fiscally savvy Bernie, numerous prominent political consultants from both parties told The Intercept in April that he has gone to them before announcing he had considered running as a Republican instead. So he sees that he's one of the few people that actually sees that Bernie is getting a lot of attention right now, at least in that class. He's getting a lot of attention right now. There's a lot of people flocking to him. He's kind of the cool guy to go to at the moment. So he wants to portray himself as one of them. One of these consultants, Joe DiSano, noted how Thanadar had spent much of 2016 attending political rallies of both parties in Iowa, and that he was particularly enamored with Marco Rubio. In an interview with the journalism company The Intercept, Thanadar acknowledged that he did attend a variety of campaign rallies in 2006, but he denied he ever had any love for Iowa, describing more of his activities. It's kind of a political tourist. DiSano mentioned that you really seem to like Rubio, was the question. Joe DiSano, the consultant. No, we just really like politics, he replied. I'm fascinated by the American presidency. American president is such a powerful leader in the free world, so I went to house parties. I went to several presentations by Clinton, I went to rallies by Bernie Sanders, I went to some of the rallies by the Republican candidates. But I'm more interested in the process. But judge for yourself how you feel about Rubio's presidential campaign in 2016, how Thanadar felt about Rubio's presidential campaign in 2016. Thanks to C-SPAN's cameras, there was the pivotal Iowa caucuses about to go down, and Rubio came up to Shri Thanadar and clapped him on the back. Here is this sound. So
Only scientist and the most progressive Democrat running for governor.
that's a clip from his ad. That is a clip there from his ad, as you can see, but here he is.
So, he had mentioned that you really seem to like Rubio. Did you think that maybe...
This is the interview. This is the Intercept.
No, I just like politics.
And that was the quote there we just played for you.
But being united alone will not be enough.
This is the Rubio rally.
And that means we have to go out to people that haven't voted for a conservative or a Republican in a long time and convince them of the truth, that they would be better off and our country would be better off with us instead of with the other side. And I look forward with passion to making that argument. I look forward to reaching out to Americans, for example, that are living paycheck to paycheck.
And it cuts to Sharif and Anar going like,
oh
yeah, to this message. He's standing there, he's looking, transfixed, he's clapping. Here he is talking to Rubio in a little red shirt. So there is that side to it. So, I mean, following the senator's remarks, Anar walked up to Rubio, and again, he asked for a photo. I'm an immigrant like your father, he said. I don't know if you could hear there in that little clip. I started my own business and create many jobs. Although Rubio is sometimes portrayed as a moderate voice for the Republican Party, the reality is that he ran for president on a considerably right-wing platform. For instance, his tax cut would have handed Americans earning over $3.7 million, an average tax cut of $900,000, according to analysis by the Tax Policy Center. So hugely rich people get off again. So, I mean, it's typical kind of Republican stuff. So it's like literally every Republican would have a tax cut